Today's podcast is all about parenting and taking a really good hard look at ourselves in the mirror as parents and asking ourselves, what do we need to start or stop doing in order to help our kids be more courageous and strong and happy and healthy? So, you're not going to want to miss today's live podcast on all things parenting and how we can create more curiosity and courage in our kids. So, this is just a total fly by the seat of my pants podcast. There has been no planning in this. It was actually a podcast that I was going to be having a special guest on, and she was unable to make it. So, instead of putting it off, I decided to take bits and pieces that we were going to talk about and add my own spin on things. So, I'm really glad that you're here, and let's make this short, sweet, and just get in the good stuff on what we can be doing as parents to help create more courageous and curiosity in our kids. So, as parents, we want to protect our kids. I mean, it's that natural instinct to want to protect them and keep them safe. But when does that sense of safety keep them from actually going out and exploring and making mistakes and not being afraid to make mistakes in order to learn and grow? You may have been at the playground. I know I have. And I've seen parents on both ends. I've seen the parents that are just sitting there and not wanting their kids to take that leap and climb up the slide backwards and do all the crazy things because they're scared they're going to get hurt. And then I've seen the parents that are just literally sitting back on their phones, not paying attention to anything whatsoever. And their kid is doing all the wildest things. And I'm even a little concerned for their kid and their safety. So, where's that nice fine line that we have as parents on how we can help our kids become more courageous? And I think this comes down to what we are willing to let them learn and figure out themselves. Your number one concern is to keep your kids safe. And I'm like, make sure, please, that you keep them safe. But allow them to fall, allow them to mess up, allow them to actually fail, because through that failure is when they actually develop the confidence in themselves and become more courageous. And they begin to explore, become more curious on, how can I make this work? How can I figure this out? And so it's looking for those little bitty opportunities all throughout your day to not give instruction, not give order as parents, and to sit back and let them figure it out. This can be really hard because we are the savers. And I know that you may be sitting there and be like, yeah, I want my kid to be strong and courageous. But you actually need to take a really good hard look in that mirror and be like, how often are you letting them actually screw up? And this is from really young ones. Like, I practice this even with the simplest ways with my autistic toddler on him building his blocks. I just sit back and I let him go. I let him figure it out. He gets super upset and we have multiple meltdowns because his towers and all the things that he's building just fall and crash. And I want to be there to help him. Like, I know what's wrong. I know what he needs to do in order to make the structure more sound so that way he can keep building and accomplish the task that he's looking to accomplish. But that's not doing him any good. That's not allowing him to learn and to figure it out and to mess up. And also how to manage his emotions during those mess ups. Because your kids have to actually get frustrated. You have to allow them to have these little mini meltdowns, to get upset. Because from there, that's that motivation to work harder. And we want to instill in our kids to work hard and to have the curiosity to figure out there's multiple ways to get to an end result. And this is something that as parents, I think that we stop doing as older adults. We stop being curious. We stop looking for ways to be creative and to play because we're so afraid of messing up and screwing up our kids and screwing up our own selves. And this fear of failure is keeping us stuck, and it is keeping us in this box. And in this box, there's no growth. Like, you're stuck. And we need to constantly be looking for ways to learn and to grow. And that comes from having curiosity, from messing up, and then from the mess ups, from the failures, we can look at, okay, what went well, what didn't go well, where do we need to improve? When you model these things to your kids, this is exactly when they see you. It's not always about what you're saying, it's about how they see you fall and get back up again. It's how they see you overcome adversity. That's what you want to be modeling to your kids, that it's okay to learn and to screw up and to keep trying and going after what you want, because it's not always about being perfect. I know you've heard me preach this message so many times because it's something that I live by. And while it's okay to strive for perfection and to strive to be at the top and to perform at a high level, it's all about the journey and the progress in order to get there. This is exactly the same when it comes to your health as parents. The more that you can stop looking at health even as a destination and start looking at as a lifestyle and as a continuous process and a learning process all throughout your life, the sooner that you're going to become less frustrated about where you're trying to get when it comes to your health. And health, to me, especially as a licensed therapist and as a health coach, health is all about being able to have long term sustainable habits that are continually focused on growth instead of an end result. So, being able to be focused and centered on this growth mindset, being able to speak to your kids in a way that supports a growth mindset, that is exactly how you spark more curiosity and more courage. Because look back at your own life and think about some of the times that you have been so proud of yourself, that you have accomplished something really hard, you have overcame some type of adversity. I guarantee that there was struggle in there. There may have been struggle, there may have been pain and tears and frustration, and the reason why you feel so good about that situation is because of everything that you had to tap into inside of you in order to accomplish that. That confidence, that courage didn't come from it being easy. It actually came from it being hard and being able to see the process through. So that is exactly what you need to begin to model and show to your kids in order to begin to allow them to have more curiosity and develop more courage and confidence. Because bottom line is we're coming from a really soft upcoming generation of kids, I feel like, is like they want things to be more handed to them or they expect it to be easy. And we do. We have so many resources and so much information out there to us that is a huge blessing, but it can also allow kids to be really soft. And I'm saying that in a way that like they get defeated and discouraged really easily. And I think the same goes for us as adults in the world that we're growing up in now, is that, and I say growing because you're constantly growing, even into like older adulthood, you are still growing if you have the right type of growth mentality. So, whenever we look at things or we're flooded by messages and we're flooded by things that say it's like, oh, things should be easy. And it's just not. And the more things that we are actually proud of is the things that challenge us and that make us have that courage and that curiosity in order to get better. So like that's exactly what I want you to be able to instill in your kids, but it all starts with you parents. It all starts with taking a look in the mirror and asking yourself, okay, what am I doing and what am I not doing that is supporting this growth mindset, that is supporting them learning and growing through screw ups and failing and messing up? And start small with yourself. Challenge yourself to pull back in one little way and allow their kid to get upset and be like, and then that opens the door for conversation. I guarantee this is not only going to help them in a way of becoming more courageous and more confident, but it also is going to build that connection that you have with your kids, because it's going to allow the opportunity for conversation and for you to be able to come together and to grow together and healthy, amazing conversations and relationships are built on that communication. So I hope you found this super helpful. Again, my name is Seisha. I'm a licensed therapist, and this was just a fun conversation of the Mob Mentality podcast, the podcast that is made for moms of very busy kids, on how we can take a look at ourselves as parents, as moms, in order to help develop healthy lifestyle habits through our own mindset and our own body to be able to give the best of ourselves to our kids and to our family. Thanks for joining me, and I will talk to you soon.